We were disappointed we didn't win. They scored a goal just before our time. We hadn't really created anything. We created a number of opportunities. I thought we played well first half today. Got the goal, maybe could have got a second, and it's the least we deserved was a point.
I think there were a few strange decisions out there, and maybe the one at the end of the first half from the referee. I didn't quite understand what was going on there.
Right, he doesn't give the free kick where they don't score, but that's football, that's referees, and let's not talk about referees.
First half, though, went right at it, no space for them to work in, and should have been two. Obviously, you've had a penalty and missed it. How's Ross feeling?
Ross is a top player, that's what top players do. I'm not bothered about Ross missing the penalty. He scored loads of penalties for us, he scored loads of goals for us. He does his talking on the pitch, he then puts a free kick down and puts it in the top corner. So, that just tells you everything you need to know about Ross McCormack.
Tell me about Connor Wickham's performance. How did you think he did today?
I thought it was excellent. I thought that relationship between Ross and Connor, didn't even need working on. They seemed to have that instinctive play. They had little bits of bobs going in the first half. They'll only get better. I think we're getting better as a team. We're trying to add to what we're trying to do. We're building, and with 14 games to go, we want to try and get as close as we can to that sixth place.
Is it frustrating that you haven't had this team for, say, a month longer?
Yeah, I wish we had another 6 games. It doesn't matter, with 14 games to go, there's still 40 odd points, 42 points, my maths are correct. So let's see where that takes us.
Ultimately, a point at Queen's Park Rangers, who you've got to fancy, should have been really in the top 2 with the amount of talent they've got here. You'd take a point, wouldn't you? But I can sense there's a disappointment that it's not been 3 for you today.
Well, you look at every game. Before the game, you might consider taking a point, but the way the game panned out, we're disappointed that we haven't got all 3.
A lot of pressure on Harry. You've had pressure on you this season as well. It must have been quite tense down on those benches today, was it?
Nice football management in 2014. You've seen my situation and what's happened, and Harry, they're talking about now. Harry's a great manager. I'm sure they'll be very, very close, and we just want to make sure we're as close as we could possibly be.
How much more is there to come from the likes of Jimmy Cabby and Cameron Stewart in particular?
Yeah, we think there's plenty to come. We need those guys to really make the difference, because a winger's situation, a winger's position it's not easy. Because I played there, you have to create, you have to make things happen. It's different from destroying, and they have to create. They're working really hard for the team. For me, when you've got a squad of players, you don't just have 2 wingers, you have 4 or 5, because you can change things off the bench then, and that's the ideal scenario. You don't just have a couple, you have 4 or 5, and that's where we need to get to.
I think in the first one, Jimmy Cabby broke quite a few things up as well, which probably isn't his role in per se. I know he's got to do that, but there was times I thought, go on, you want to go and see him beat somebody, and that's not happening. Is that a confidence thing with him?
Yeah, it's more of a confidence thing. He's doing his work off the ball for the team. I want to see Jimmy do what Jimmy does and beat people, get crosses into the box. He got a great crossing right at the end there, which we might have got something from. But wingers, it's a specialised position. I know it better than anybody, and like I say, once we get 4 or 5 wingers at the football club in the squad, and the squad's balanced, I think that's going to make a massive difference to us.
Dare I say that might be what you're looking at in this the talks that you've been having with another player recently?
No, not necessarily. It might not be for now. We can't just go and buy a load of loan players. I'll get a load of loan players. We've got 4 in already. Where we are is where we are. We might get another player in. We'll see what happens. But we feel we're getting better. We feel we're improving. We've had 4 games away from home, which is very, very difficult. Now we go back to Ellen Road, and I'm so pleased that we're going back there.
Rodwell, Collinson, all names that get linked with Leeds United. Are they fair to be linked with it? Are they names you want?
No, I don't. I had a phone call about Collinson recently. So
just
we'll
names.
Yeah,
just
the names. Yeah, you can name as many as you like.
All right, we'll do. Now, what about Massimo Cigliano? Any more talk since we spoke on Thursday? Have you had a chat about where things are going?
We had dinner last night. David Haig was there from GFH. Massimo was there was there as well. We all had dinner as a staff. Spent a nice, pleasant couple of hours together. We talked about football. So that's where we're at.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, absolutely, it's good. And obviously GFH are running the football club. We have conversations about football, Massimo and I, and the staff, and that certainly happened last night.
And do you and Massimo, how would you describe your relationship? Like, is there a bit of trust there? Do you feel that he's confident in what you're doing, Brian, and what your plans are here?
I think we talk about football, and we get on. We get on well.
Yeah.
And he got on well with the staff last night. and it's we have interesting conversations.
How's your Italian?
Not great. It's better than his English is good. So, but we'll see what happens in the next week or so. You know, once the whole ownership situation is resolved, we'll have a calm period. But we seem to have a calm period now, really. And that's really been important to us. And I think that the team has improved. If you look back to where we were at Sheffield Wednesday, when it was a day that you'd never forget and you'd never want to remember, to where we are now. We're coming to a Queen's Park Rangers and we're disappointed that we haven't won.
West Yorkshire Sport.